The only time that you might need to factory reset a Nintendo Switch is if its operating system becomes corrupt or you intend to decommission, sell, or give it away. However, as there are a number of different ways to perform a factory reset, and the method that you use will be dependent on the state of your Switch, we thought it a good idea to show them to you. Before we start, we're going to eject any virtual game cards, the microSD card, and any games in the game card slot. We can now start with the default and recommended method for performing a factory reset on a Nintendo Switch. If from the home screen we locate and select System Settings, within System Settings we now need to scroll down through the list of options and choose System. Within System, we now need to scroll through another list of options and then choose Formatting Options. Within Formatting Options, we now need to locate and choose Restore Factory Settings. After clicking on Restore Factory Settings, we are presented with a warning that informs us that we're about to delete all data from the console and return the Switch back to its factory settings. We're also told that the version of the system software currently being used will not be changed, that data will not be deleted from the microSD card, and that while all user accounts will be deleted from the console, any Nintendo accounts will remain active on Nintendo's servers so that we can continue to use them. We're also provided with an alternative method for performing a factory reset designed specifically to reinstall the Switch's system software without deleting any user data or game saves, which happens to be a better option to use if you're simply trying to troubleshoot or fix a problem like crashing or freezing. After choosing Next, we're asked to confirm that we wish to perform a factory reset. Let's select Restore Factory Settings. While the console is performing its factory reset, you should not attempt to power it down, as this could damage the system software as it's being reinitialized. When the console finishes performing its factory reset, it will reboot, and if the Switch is in its dock, will ask you to remove it from the dock so that you can either power it down or set it up again. The second way we can return a Nintendo Switch back to its factory settings is through recovery mode, where we will find two different reset options. In order to place our console into recovery mode, we first need to power down our Switch. To do this, we simply need to press the power button until we see the Power Options menu, and then choose Power Options, where we will find the Power Off setting. If your Switch is frozen or not correctly responding to commands, you can power down your console by pressing and holding down the power button for 20 seconds or until you see the screen switch off. Next, in order to place your Switch into recovery mode, if we power the console back on, and then immediately press and hold down both volume buttons, the Switch should boot into recovery mode, at which point you can release your fingers from the volume buttons. Within recovery mode, we have two Restore to Factory Setting options. As we already mentioned, the first option, Restore to Factory Settings without deleting saved data, is an option designed to help you troubleshoot or fix a console that is misbehaving, but without deleting your user data or game saves. The second option, Restore Factory Settings, is an option that Nintendo do not recommend that we use. This is because this option is considered to be the nuclear option, which could potentially cause issues with your Nintendo account and shared games. Let's first take a look at the option Restore Factory Settings without deleting any data. Before we can continue, we need to confirm that we understand that this setting will delete and restore the console back to its factory defaults, but saved data, screenshots, and user information will not be deleted. It's also worth noting that any software that has been saved to the SD card will become unusable, but any deleted software or DLC can be used again if re-downloaded. When we click Next, we are prompted to confirm that we wish to continue. After selecting Restore Factory Settings without deleting saved data, the reset process will begin. While performing a reset, you should not touch the power button, as this could corrupt the reinstallation of the system software. When the console reboots, if it's in its dock, you will need to remove it. We now need to complete a cut-down version of the setup process, starting with choosing a country. We then need to set a region, review important information, configure internet settings, choose a time zone, set parental controls, and add an SD card. However, the element that you will not have to reconfigure is your user profile, as that was saved from deletion when we performed this type of reset. Let's return to recovery mode and take a look at the Restore Factory Settings option. First, we're warned that we should only use this setting under exceptional circumstances and are instructed to use the Return to Factory Settings option in System Settings. For this demonstration, we're going to click Continue. We now receive a further warning that better explains why we should not be using this method to factory reset our console. From what we've been able to gather, as our console will not be deregistered from our Nintendo account, using this reset method could cause serious issues with regards to shared games. So the advice seems to be that before attempting to use this reset option, you should eject any loaded virtual game cards and also manually deregister the console as the primary console associated with your Nintendo account. As we only use a local account with our Nintendo Switch, we're going to click on Continue to show you what happens next. After being given a final warning that we're about to restore our console back to its factory settings, and we will be permanently deleting any data, we're going to choose Restore Factory Settings. The console will now wipe itself and then restart before presenting us with the default setup screen. It is at this point that we can now either reset up our console or power it down. So to summarize, in this video, we took a look at 3 different methods for restoring a Nintendo Switch back to its factory settings. This included looking at factory resetting from within system settings and using the 2 options in recovery mode.